If we couldn't get a simple snow vehicle to work in the Arctic, how did they get the lunar vehicle to cruise around the moon like it was a Sunday drive? Yeah, you heard that right. In the 60s, engineers struggled for years trying to design machinery that could handle frozen terrain right here on Earth. But somehow, with 70s technology, they sent a battery-powered buggy 240,000 miles away that worked flawlessly in negative 250-degree temperatures. Does that timeline make sense to you? And here's what really gets me. Why haven't we gone back in over 50 years if the technology was supposedly that reliable? Let me paint you a picture. The Alaskan exploration program was a disaster. Prototypes kept breaking down in conditions engineers could actually test and fix. They had access to the vehicles, could troubleshoot problems in real time, and still couldn't get consistent performance. Meanwhile, NASA's telling us they built something for an environment they'd never physically tested in, with no way to send a repair crew, and it performed perfectly on the first attempt. That's like failing your driver's test in your hometown, but somehow nailing a blindfolded obstacle course in a foreign country. And it gets weirder. The lunar buggy had to operate in a vacuum, with dust finer than talcum powder that NASA themselves said could destroy equipment. But back on Earth, regular dirt and ice were too much for similar prototypes. Think about that contradiction for a second. Here's what they don't want you asking. If technology struggled with predictable Earth conditions, why did it suddenly become superhuman in the most extreme environment imaginable? The official story says innovation and determination. But when you actually compare the engineering reports from both projects, the success rate doesn't add up mathematically. The failure points that plagued Earth vehicles, battery drainage, material brittleness, navigation systems, somehow vanished in harsher lunar conditions. Look at the actual footage available. Watch how the rover moves, how the dust falls, how shadows behave. Then compare it to what physics tells us should happen in 1/6 gravity with no atmosphere. Independent analysis keeps finding inconsistencies that deserve answers, not dismissal. The solution isn't blind belief in either direction. It's demanding transparent evidence. We should have access to all original telemetry data, unedited photographs, and engineering specifications. Real science welcomes scrutiny. Start asking these questions yourself.